What's good? What's going on with everyone this wonderful evening? Is October the 1st, 2018. My name is James Bush. I am from Bush Counseling Services. I am one half of Bush Counseling Services. My lovely wife, we run the company together. And tonight, my topic is what makes a great teammate. When I think of team sports and teams, I'm not a sports fanatic. Well, fanatic that is. But when I think of a teammates, I look of it as in a whole lot of different dynamics. I look at it in the relationship realm. I look at it in the business realm. I look at it in from just the common things of you to find two people that are on the street picking up trash or so. They are working in concert together. They are a team for a cause. So tonight we're going to look at it from the realm of couples, relationships. What makes a great teammate? And for me, this is just my opinion on this. It's just they know their role. They have an identity of what they bring towards that team. So let me tell you a little bit of not a story, but something you probably would relate to. Back in the late 90s or so, I was a heavy Chicago Bulls fan. I love basketball. One of those things where you dream that you can go and play in the NBA one day, but then you realize that is just a dream and you move on to other things in life. So great. Again, it's teammates. How you doing, Jennifer? Thank you for tuning in tonight. So, teammates. So, the Bulls. We all know about Michael Jordan. One of the greatest players, if not the greatest players, ever played a game of basketball. But what I want to talk about is the teammate of the Bulls. Dennis Rodman, one of my favorite players. Why? Because Dennis was a hustler. He was very, I won't say weird, but he had his own style. He had his own persona. Dennis would go and he would guard guys like Shaquille O'Neal. As 6'9", and as his physique was immaculate. Dennis was a brawler, but he was the one that got down in the paint and did the dirty work. He took the elbows. He D'd up everybody. He grabbed rebound after rebound after rebound. He wasn't the best shooter or anything like that, but he knew that what he brought to that 96 to 98 basketball squad of the Bulls was his toughness and his defense. I look at people like Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was one of the most versatile basketball players during that era. He could guard the point guard. He can guard the power forward. He could handle the rock. He was basically the prototypical point forward. He brought the rock up the court. He was amazing with it. And he could shoot the threes. He can go on the block. Mr. Versatile, that's what we always called him. I look at people off the bench. Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr knew his role. His role was not to get on down low on the block and to post up and take the rock from feed from Jordan or Pippen or Ron Harper, anything like that. He was a spot-up three-point shooter. And matter of fact, one of those championships, Steve Kerr made a key three-pointer in the corner, or maybe it was the elbow of the arc, and it helped seal that championship win for him. Again, he knew his identity in his role. Bill Winnington, he knew how to operate within the triangle offense. He would have that baseline spot-up jump shot. It was like money. It was automatic. AU2, what we call it, automatic. And that was his design. That was his role in what he did. And he did it very well. Him and possibly Luke Longley, they had what they knew to be their roles and their identity. They didn't try to go any way out of that. That's what they did. And so, again, I compare this and everything. You notice I didn't mention Mike because we all are in love with Mike. We know what Mike brought to the game, and he even knew his identity with that. But when it comes to relationships, sometimes there is this big thing where we don't have a clear understanding of what our roles are on this team. In some relationships, some people are great with money. Some people are not. Some people are great with planning. Some people are horrible planners and they just fly by the seat of their pants all the time. Some people are great with coming up with different programs and ways to make things happen within a household. Some people, they go and they make tons of money, and then you go and look at their house and their house is in shambles or so, because maybe that's not their gifts. That's why they go and pay other people to do so. My bottom line of what I'm trying to say is that we all have roles when you're in a relationship that you bring to the team. And what I want to encourage you tonight is that there is no hierarchy in roles of what a team needs. In order for a team to be successful, in order for a team to overall win, everybody has to play in their role. Everyone has to play in their function. One of the scriptures that comes from the Bible that encourages me on this is that one could put 1,000 to flight and two could put 10,000 to flight. So if you have two people of the same mind that are moving down the same path, they're on the same road, they have the same agenda, they can move and do great and wondrous things. But when you have two people that they have their own agendas and they're just split apart and I'm going to do it this way and you're going to do it that way, they may get something accomplished, but it's not as much as accomplished when you have two people working in concert together who are working as a team. And unfortunately, in our society, what I'm seeing, especially on the couch, is that some couples, because of past experiences, because of what they possibly seen their moms go through or their dads go through, or aunts and uncles, when it comes to these different relationships, it's become more of this gunslinger, lone gunman attitude. Yes, I am in a marriage, but I'm still going to do my own thing. So again, we're not a team. We are not together. We are together on paper, but we don't necessarily work in concert together because it's just, I'm going to do my own thing. That's what I've learned. That's what I've been taught. That's what I believe that this society is showing me that I need to do. And unfortunately, our children are watching these attributes. So they grow up learning these same and similar types of behavior over and over and over again. And where does the teamwork come in? It doesn't. So we're just perpetuating dysfunctional relationship, dysfunctional lone gunslinger mentalities over and over again. And then we wonder why things are the way they are as when it comes to relationships and coupleships and stuff like that. Again, the biggest thing that I want to leave with you guys on this conversation is that no role is higher than the other. All roles are important. All roles are something to be celebrated. You can't tell the person who's going out there and they're hustling and they're making money, but the wife that possibly is taking care of the children, that your roles are any different. No, you need your wife to take care of those kids. You need her to be present. You need her to show that loving and affectionate mother, and vice versa. Maybe that you have the wife. She is a powerhouse in corporate America structure. But then the husband, he's home, he's making the lunches, he's vacuuming, he's doing X, Y, and Z or so. And maybe I know some of you guys, you don't want to hear it. You may feel like, well, that's woman's work, or that's man's work. Well, in the end of the day, it's about who's winning and who's not. That's all that matters. You can have a guy who can try to identify as a role, but they're not really made of that role. They don't work well in that role. They don't have the equipment. They don't have the mindset. You ever seen somebody that's walked into something that they're not prepared for or they're not able to fulfill or able to do? It's like a train wreck and you're just watching it, and it kind of somewhat becomes sad after a while, because it's like, who are you trying to prove this to? This is not your skill set. This is not something that you're great in. Okay, good, fine, fair enough. But when we're talking about, what's good, Kelvin? I appreciate you tuning in this evening. But when we're talking about teamwork, when we're talking about roles or so, when we first have our own identity of what we bring to a relationship and what we bring to the table, and then we get in concert with people who can match up well with us in those roles, then we have a strong and we have a mighty thing going forward, because we're in agreement at that point in time. It's not about what society has told us. It's not even sometimes about what your parents are, because contrary to popular belief, sometimes our parents were trying to figure out these things along the way as well too. So why not go against the grain, and why not figure out what works well for your own house? And that's teamwork, building something together. Last comment. I liken relationships to things that we build on a slab. You ever guys seen that, how you can have a foundation, a slab, when new developments, when you have all these big developments and houses that get built, and you have a slab of concrete, and then that's the foundation, and Then you have the framing that goes and takes place. And so what I look at is just the process that it takes. So you have a lot of framing, you have the outer frame, and then sometimes you have the inner frame, and then you have the roof and all other kind of stuff. Teamwork helps to get this mighty, immaculate fortress get built. The lone gunmen, sometimes they can get something that looks very well, but it's not as vast as what a team can do. And also, too, when you have vision, one person, well, I'm going to say this better. Vision, grand visions, and great visions are bigger than just one person. It takes a team of people. And when you are with the right person that can help you bring that vision to pass, especially when you're in a relationship or a coupleship with someone, I mean, it's an awesome thing to behold. So again, my name is James Bush. Thank you for tuning in this evening. If you like what you've seen, like, share, subscribe, whatever platform we're in, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, I put them on all of them. Take it easy. You have a great evening.